You are listening to chartingwealth.com for Wednesday, the 14th of October, 2015. We always start with IYY. That is the iShares Dow Jones U.S. Total Market Index Fund. It represents everything that's going on in the equity markets and the stock market. And we see that the market has been driving up, going on the fifth candle, representing, when this candle finally closes, 10 days of up movement since it bottomed out sometime around the 29th of September. And since October began, it has been drifting upward. Does appear that the market could be topping out when we go from our 2-day chart, which is still strong up moves. We do see, however, we go to the 4-hour chart, that the market has banged its head somewhere around, on the big chart, somewhere around 101.24, and has pretty much started to bang off of that and roll back over. It has not yet crossed going down, but that may be happening soon. Derivative oscillators lost a lot of energy on the 4-hour, the half-day chart, and looks like we have a converging of the MACD and the signal line. That may very well be happening soon. We will continue to watch that. Not a lot of great news out there to keep the market moving up, but there is a lot of room on those Bollinger Bands for it to continue going up. As far as the 2-day chart goes, it does show that, but it does look like the 4-hour chart is weakening, so we shall keep a watch on that. Now remember, if the 4-hour chart does roll over and then starts to move back up again, and we still have this nice up movement on the big chart, that's a great time to get in and ride that baby ride. Now let's take a look at SPY. What does that represent? That represents a Standard & Poor's 500. That is 500 big stocks. We see a nice 3-candle trend line, a pretty good candle, 3-candle trend line representing about 6 days of upward movement. Pretty close to being 3 connected there. Crossed over going up the morning of the candle on the 5th of October, and has continued to move up. We've actually redrawn a line here that it's bounced off of several times on the 4-hour chart. See how much it gets above about 201. We do see it driving up though. Big up moves on the 2-day chart. Looks a little different when we look at the 4-hour chart. The half-day chart, we can see that again it's been knocking up on that 201 and starting to roll off of it, getting close to crossing over, going down. Derivative oscillators lost a lot of speed. The MACD is converging, so we'll continue to watch that, see if we see a crossover in the morning perhaps, or in the afternoon on Wednesday. So let's pay attention very closely. And again, it could roll back up again. If so, might be a good buy-in point for you. We are above the 2-day trend line. We go below that trend line, alarm bells ought to start going off on in your head. Now, let's range back out to our 2-day chart from the 4-hour to the 2-day. We're going to finally check out the Qs. What is that? The cubes. That is QQQ. It is the NASDAQ 100, the technology stocks. What are they doing? Well, they've been moving up also. They have breached the ceiling that we had originally drawn. We had another one where it reached its high actually on the 17th when the Fed made that first announcement on the 17th of September and the market rolled over. It touched that high today, somewhere around 107.10 on the NASDAQ 100, the Qs. We've got a 3-day trend line that's been drawn, crossed over going up on the candle on the 5th of October. It's continued to move up. If we look at the shorter chart, we can see pretty much the same thing where the market has hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times over the last 2 days, starting at noon on the morning of the 12th of October, and does appear to be converging for a crossover going down on the MACD. Hasn't happened yet, so we don't make that call. We're still in confirmed up moves on every one of these indexes, all 3, both on the short and the long chart. But like we've been saying, it looks like that short chart's getting a little long in the tooth, so pay attention, be ready to act. Now, let's range back out to our 2-day chart, and lastly, we will look at what? Gold. Up almost 0.5% today. Look at that. Nice. 4 candles connected. For those of you who can't see this, listening by audio, we have 4 candles connected on up moves a nice solid trend line. Even on this 2-day chart, crossed over going up back around the 15th of September. Moved up for a few days, then down, then caught its breath and has moved up again. But what do we love to trade when we deal with gold? Our 4-hour chart is just singularly wonderful. When it crossed over going down, as it did around the 28th in the afternoon, it moved on down substantially after that, and then it crossed over going up the afternoon of the 5th, or maybe the morning of the 5th it was, yes, and of October. It's continued to move up since then. Pretty substantial climbs. When it crossed over, the high was 108.44, and of course it's now, the high today was 111.87. So nice solid moves there. Continue to watch this 4-hour chart. It really is the chart for gold. When it starts to cross over or starts topping out, you get a couple of 3 of these red candles. You might consider taking your profits and getting out. Now again, we're talking about virtual trades. We're not a stock calling service. We don't give you trading advice. This is all about training, learning to trade so you can make your own decisions and opinions. But in your virtual account, when this starts to cross over going down after it's made the money it can for you in an up move on gold, consider purchasing an ETF that's an inverse fund on gold and write it down. See if you can make some money each way. Another way to increase your training, your knowledge base, so that you can make money when the market's trending up or trending down, whichever it may be, whether it's gold, whether it's the S&P 500, the Qs, whatever it might be. It's all about learning how to read these charts and how to trade these charts, because it is a chart thing. It's not about the noise you hear in the market. It's about what the charts are telling you, because you can listen to the talking heads on television and you can get totally fooled. Totally fooled. What do they say? You buy on the rumor, you sell on the news. By the time you hear it on the news, the trade is over. It has already been sold and you are the sucker. So don't be a sucker. Learn to read these charts. And if you don't know how to read a chart yet, you're just learning, you want a fast action course on it, you need to email us, cw@chartingwealth.com. That's C as in charting, W as in wealth, @chartingwealth.com. If you will simply email us and say, hey, I would love to get your charting layout from freestockcharts.com. That's what you see on the screen when you're watching it on video. That's what we're reading to you from as we broadcast this on audio on our podcast. All you got to do is email us and ask for that. We'll also send you not only the charting layout, but we will send you that video that's going to get you into learning how to trade quickly and being able to be someone who can really read these charts and start doing your virtual trades and learning what to do. Now you say, for those of you who are brand new, what is a virtual trade? You can go to any of the online brokerage firms and sign in and get yourself a virtual trading account. You can become a virtual millionaire in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And then you have the ability to start buying and selling virtually things like exchange traded funds like GLD, like SPY, which represents the S&P 500, like IYY, which represents the total market, like QQQ, which represents the NASDAQ 100. You can buy and sell these virtually, just very, very similar to literally buying and selling the real thing. And you can practice. And as you get better and better at reading the charts, at some point, you're going to feel confident enough to actually use the knowledge you've gained, the experience you've gained, to make your own trades, to make your own purchases, to watch yourself making money as the markets go up, down, and sideways, because that's what it's all about. We appreciate you listening to us, being with us. Again, cw@chartingwealth.com. Go to our website, sign up for this daily newsletter. Also, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget, subscribe to our podcast at iTunes. Please give us a 5-star rating. If you appreciate what we do for you free every day, help us out. Go to iTunes, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. Thanks so much from chartingwealth.com.